Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome everybody, Chris back with yet another fragrance review, and today I take you by the hand, or take me by the hand, and let's go together to the French Riviera. The French Riviera, south of France, the Côte d'Azur, right? I've been there, I've been lucky enough to have been there back in the summer of 2006. All that region along Cap Ferrat and Saint-Paul-de-Vence and Villefranche-sur-Mer, and you know, down to even to Saint-Tropez and all these parts of this wonderful part of France, the Côte d'Azur, the French Riviera, okay? And so it has a very special kind of very refined, upscale, luxurious vibe, okay, with all these cities. You can mention Cannes, you can mention Nice as the, you know, the cities that are culturally also very much on the map. Gillette just mentioned the Cannes Film Festival, okay, so or the Promenade des Anglais in Nice. So it is a very actually, one of my relatives used to run the zoo in Saint-Jean-de-Cap-Ferrat back in the 1950s, okay? So I have my emotional attachment to this wonderful part of Europe, okay? And Faconnable is a brand that was founded back in 1950, I think it was, and by the end of the 1950s, it really became very fashionable in that particular area on the French Riviera, okay? And so much so that actually, I was mentioning the Cannes Film Festival, International Film Festival, Faconnable really was addressing the who is who of the Cannes Film Festival, all the dresses, all the tuxedos and everything. So it became a very much icon of the style of the French Riviera, okay? And Faconnable has introduced a few fragrances in the past, and in 2021 they have sort of facelifted the Faconnable fragrance range and came out with two fragrances, one of which you see here called Regatta. Regatta, obviously, you can see it by the color as well, referring to, you know, the maritime, seaside, you know, high society vibe of the French Riviera, the taste, the je ne sais quoi of the rich and beautiful, okay? Yet at the same time, very refined, with a good taste, and never overly posh, okay? You know, something nice with style and elegance, okay? So the fragrance name Regatta, obviously, you know, again, and the color of the juice in the bottle referring to this very seaside or you know, Riviera theme. And it's called Intense as well. Let me get to that. It's it is actually a if I check, it's an eau de toilette, but it's an eau de toilette intense, okay? So does it deliver? First of all, very nice packaging, you know, this I really like the color, obviously, you know, referring to the sea or even the sky. And the sprayer is very good, of high quality and very nice indeed. And the whole bottle, the whole color, the whole packaging, bottle is very nice to look at yourself. Oh, I love this. And so what do we get? How does the Regatta smell? Okay, when on the sailboats, you know, going out to have a race on the sea, the regatta, okay? It's fairly obvious how this is being approached here, and you have your limitations on how to bring across this theme of refreshing seaside existence. Okay, so the way it's been done here, it's with very much a lemon, neroli, and probably mandarin orange and ginger start. So it's very refreshing, but in a spicy way. And the way that's done is it has a nice dash of cardamom that helps to ground and to provide these fresh notes with some more backbone. Although I have to say, really, the ginger paired up with the neroli and the lemon and the mandarin orange is really a very fresh, fruity, and citric, and intense indeed. So it's a very citrusy start into the fragrance, and then the cardamom really gives it another facet. But it goes further than that, because in the dry down you get just a hint of woodiness provided by sandalwood and cedarwood together. That could be boring, because these two, especially together, they are sort of a, you know, the usual sort of woody background, okay, for a fragrance, but preventing it from getting into a boring, simple, woody dry down with the fragrance just dying out on that are two notes, both of which are very much present in the dry down toward the mid and the late stages of this fragrance. And these are musk and oakmoss. And the musk is, I love a well done musk, much like Ferre Fougere Italiano, for example. It has the same cleanness, characteristic cleanness, and the moss just gives it a little bit more of a probably greenish kick, okay, a little bit sharp. But overall, it's a very nicely blended fragrance, and I see many in the community compare this to Versace Eau Fraiche and Versace Men Eau Fraiche and several, you know, of the usual freshies. And I think many people judging this fragrance are being misled by the overall presentation and indeed the color of the fragrance, because if you look at the color, it's very much reminding you of for example, Versace Men Eau Fraiche, okay, but it is not really near that. And this one is not as soft as that Versace release, and it has no sweetness either. And this is why I like this fragrance, because it allows the musk enough space to play and to present itself. And musk, if it's well done in a man's fragrance, is very much giving it a clean character without being actually very soapy or without being too aquatic. There is an aquatic element in here, so it smells, if you smell it overall, it reminds you of a seaside French Riviera scenery, but it does not necessarily smell as aquatic as many other fragrances. Some people mention Azzurro Chrome, for example. Again, I think the color is very similar, and there is a mood that is being evoked by these type of fragrances, including this Faconnable Regatta, that are going into that direction. Yet I would still not necessarily compare the smell, the actual smell of Versace Man Fresh or Azzurro Chrome or anything with this, because it's a different smell. Okay, the especially the musk here and the oak moss plus the cardamom and the ginger are just different than the very aquatic freshies that I've mentioned. Okay, so It is not overly complex, okay, but it's very nicely blended. It really has a lot to offer. And talking about the intensity of this fragrance, I really, really like the longevity. If you spray this on skin, hair, clothing, first of all, you're gonna never offend anybody because it's a safe choice, okay? You can't go wrong with this one. Everybody will like it. You will get compliments. Yet it has enough backbone for you not to be just one in the crowd, okay? It is nice. And it has this style to it, this Faconnable style that is a bit sort of more sophisticated than your usual run-of-the-mill designer fragrance freshie, okay? So that's an absolute plus point. And in regards again to the performance intensity, it is a long-lasting fragrance. If you spray 5-6 sprays all over, as I mentioned, especially on hair and clothing, but also on skin, it lasts a good 8 to 10 hours, okay? But you're happy to reapply anyway because it's a nice smell. Overall, it absolutely provides you with the feeling of regatta at the French Riviera, and isn't that what the name and the brand are all about? Faconnable Regatta from the year of 2021, okay? Thanks very much. This was Chris, and I'll be back with more very soon. Take care and see you. Bye-bye.